Good morning. Yesterday, some information crossed my path about a big festival that's going to be happening in France, and I'm going to be talking about that today. The title that I assigned is Ninth Wave: Suppress Negativity, Yes or No? Before we can change direction, we need to stop the world. 3-day moratorium 9/22/24 on all news for cosmic convergence. That is the headline on the IONS website, and the article reveals plans for a huge 4-day event in France, the Lotharien Peace Festival. Lotharien, Lothlorien. I may not be pronouncing that correctly. It's September the 21st through the 24th. Carl Kalleman and many others will be there. We are asked to join the 3-day moratorium on all negative news. Can we? Should we? I'm actually going to read some of the article, and then I will make my comments. Dr. Carl Kalleman and organizers of the Lothlorien Peace Festival in France, together with the Know Thyself initiative, have recognized humanity is being offered a rare opportunity to change direction. Absolutely, I agree with that. The opportunity is being afforded by the entrance into our solar system of 3 cosmic bodies: comets Honda, Levi, and the most important, Elenin. Many believe the advent of these cosmic bodies may well be the fulfillment of the Hopi prophecy identifying the return of the blue star Kachina, Elenin, along with the 2 brothers, Honda and Levi. Various videos are circulating the web, linking alignments of Elenin with the recent major earthquakes in Chile, New Zealand, and Japan, having detected another major alignment on September 26th, where Elenin passes between the Sun and the Earth. Many are sounding the alarm and warning of the probability of at least one major earthquake. Although conceding that this is one possibility of the alignment, we would offer another outcome. Seen from a purely energetic and consciousness perspective, this alignment can be used to propel the human race into the next step in evolution. Science today acknowledges everything is energy, and Elenin is no exception. With that in mind, if we change the way we think, then we can use this Elenin energy to usher in the long-awaited shift in consciousness. If you have switched off, thinking this is just pie in the sky or wishful thinking, let us talk about how a small number of people can affect the mass consciousness. We have seen time and again how a few angry people can stir normally reasonable individuals to become an out-of-control rioting mob. Psychologists say this happens because of the collective consciousness. Fortunately, as with every group scenario, it also works the other way. A positive message of hope can motivate people to believe in the impossible. This is what we are advocating. The cosmic convergence, September the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th, will use the energy generated by the Peace Festival, where people present, as well as a multitude of groups and organizations outside, will be focused on one single thought: peace. The link for that article is included in the little blurb that I wrote so that people can reference the entire article. I'm not going to take time to read the entire article. I just read the first few paragraphs. I absolutely am convinced that we have the ability to shift actual events, physical events on the planet. We can make them more peaceful, or more cataclysmic, depending on how we respond. I signed up for the event and placed my location and name as one of the points of light. And I encourage everyone to do that. I want to look at the map and see how much of the world gets enlightened. I mean, virtually all of Western Europe is already lit up when I did it yesterday. And there's a whole bunch of people right around this Central Florida area that have also done it, because there's an awful lot of light in that area and various other places in the United States. But most of the world was still pretty dark. There were places in Japan and India, and I don't remember them all. I don't have the map in front of me, but it was interesting looking at how many points of light were already there. But Western Europe was aflame with light, which was very interesting and encouraging to see. There is definitely happening in Europe a spiritual evolutionary awakening that is phenomenal, considering that Europe has not been, quote, religious for a long time. Or maybe they have been religious, but religion has not been a predominant factor in Europe as it may have been in generations past. The modern generation has tended, as I understand it, to be less interested, if you will, in religious matters. That's obviously not true of spiritual matters. But anyway, the question that I'm considering here is the suppression of negativity. Now, I haven't watched news on mainstream media for a very long time, and I don't. But yet, I do go to websites, and they are encouraging people not to even go to websites where you might come across negative news. Now, for my news, I go mostly to Yahoo News, and I link off of that page. But of course, people send me things in emails as well. So I pride myself a little bit in paying attention to what's going on to the best of my ability. I don't look at everything. I don't have time to look at everything. But I look at a lot of things. Sometimes just I read the headlines. Sometimes I get a little, I scan an article or whatever, or this day and time, I prefer to have ones that I can listen to. Some of the YouTubes, in fact, just have words scrolling on the screen. And I mean, give me a break. That's not a YouTube. That's not a YouTube unless you're reading it too. I want to see it and hear it. I want it to come in through my eyes and my ears, through two of my senses activated. That's what the beauty of the YouTube and the video explosion is all about. It gives us a chance to see and to hear at the same time. And it opens us up more. Or, in the case of if it's generating fear, it may close us up more. But can we stop all the negative stuff? Can we suppress it? Is suppressing anything a good thing? Generally, from a spiritual and psychological perspective, I would say no. It's a terrible thing to try to suppress negativity, because it's going to come out somehow, somewhere. Does this mean that we cannot change the world if we have negative thoughts or negative feelings? Folks, I'm sorry. I know there are people that believe that that's exactly what we have to do. I've never seen it that way, and I don't see it that way. I think the only thing that I can do as an individual is adapt and adopt an attitude to negativity that allows me to be in a place of love and compassion and greater understanding, greater wisdom, rather than trying to push it away and separate myself from it. Again, to me, the ninth wave, that the central theme of the ninth wave, besides it being universal consciousness and a greater cosmic awareness of who we are, the central theme is unity, not division. Now, someone sent me another one of those videos from the Christian viewpoint of this time being the time of the great separation, where the goats are separated from the sheep, and the light is separated from the dark, and there's a big battle of Armageddon between the light forces and the dark forces, each trying to eliminate the other one. I realize that that is part of the collective consciousness. It's out there, folks. I realize it. What is my job? What is my responsibility? My responsibility to me is to respond with love and compassion to everything and give thanks for everything, for this is the will of God concerning me. And I believe it's the will of God for everyone, to be able to reach a place in our consciousness where we are able to lovingly and compassionately embrace everything, because I'm convinced in my heart that that is the only way that we can transform negative energy into something that is not damaging to us. It is always damaging when we are at war with it, when we are trying to turn it off. That's not my goal. My goal has never been to turn it off. Now, do I like feeling negative energy? Of course not. I'm human. It doesn't feel good. I like the rush, the adrenaline sensation of feeling passionate and excited rather than feeling fearful and timid and unsure of myself and doubtful. I don't like those negative feelings any more than the next person. But I don't run away from them. In the meditation room this morning, as I lit the fires again and the candles, and I'm looking at the candles, I use fire as a means of transmuting energy, burning up that which does not serve me, but I don't run away from it. The fire is a symbol to me of transformation. And the flame in me, the eternal flame in me, transmutes and transforms my shadow elements into elements of light, into allies, into friends, not foes. Because I choose a different way of looking at it, a different way of holding the energy with loving compassion. Maybe everybody can't do that. Maybe you're in a different point in your evolutionary awareness. That's okay. Be where you are. I'm not encouraging you to try to pretend you're something that you're not. I never see spiritual enlightenment as a matter of pretending something. And in fact, I've resisted that thought for many, many, many years. You don't fake it till you make it. You don't lie to become truthful, especially to yourself. I mean, this has been one of my messages going back into the 1980s, for God's sake. I mean, it's been going on for me for a very long time. And the Lord's Prayer to me is not about division, but Father, that they all may be one in us, that the world may know that you sent me. Who is that? That's Jesus. But it's also the Christ. And the Christ is part of you and part of me and part of each person on this planet. Whether they're of the dark or of the light, it doesn't matter. The eternal flame is in each one. It is unity consciousness, not separation consciousness. It is not the great separation, the great chasm between light and dark, good and evil. That is a false scenario based on a false paradigm that we are separate and can be separate from God. That is absolutely, positively, in my mind, a total impossibility in reality. Now, we can create a reality of fiction where it seems real, it feels real, it looks real. We can create the appearance of reality, but the real reality behind it all is always unity. It is always oneness, interconnectedness. You can't get away from anything because everything is part of us, and we are part of God. And God, and as I'm using the term God, the divine, the creator, the power, the force, name it, the universe, the cosmos, nothing can get outside of that because it is all that is. It is everything, and yet it is no thing. And that's how we are. We are everything and no thing. And love is inclusive. How many times do I need to say that? Love does not exclude. Fear excludes. Love does not. I encourage you in closing to read the article in IONS. I love IONS, the Institute of Noetic Sciences. I think they're a tremendous organization, have some tremendous people that are part of that. I think it was Ed Mitchell, the astronaut, Edwin or Edward Mitchell. I may have his first name wrong, but I think it was Mitchell that founded that organization. Lots of good stuff there. Anyway, keep your chin up and do the best you can to see the wholeness of the world. Please do that. And yes, do read the article. Namaste, that's all I'm going to say today.